What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz, the adult. Alright, man, look at the road. I'm driving. Alright, man, look. Okay, well, I think it's appropriate that we discuss boxing media integrity, okay? And this is really, I want to cover this because I made a post in my community stating that I will not be covering the scandal of Oscar De La Hoya. Just like I didn't discuss or cover Floyd Mayweather's new domestic situation, Kovalev domestic situation, Pulev situation he was going through, Clarissa Shields and what happened in the weigh-in. I thought that wasn't a good look for boxing. Clarissa Shields, Michigan. I just didn't think those things were positive. I did, in fact, though, cover Errol Spence's car accident, and I didn't cover that until I started getting news from sources, reliable sources, that he only had a few broken teeth and he was okay. And I knew the boxing community were worried, and there were a lot of people talking about he was in intensive care and critical condition, but I knew otherwise, so I didn't cover it until I had something positive to say. And as far as his DWI, I knew that there was conversations about him speaking against driving under the influence. So I wanted to cover that portion of it before it started getting, spreading like wildfire, that he deserves the car accident, that, that he put everybody's lives at, and he's a very irresponsible person. I just wanted to give a little bit of light to the situation before, and people did it anyway. Yeah, if it's about life or death, Patrick Day, Hugo Santillan, if it's Sweet Pea Whitaker, his death, Bert Sugar, Bert Cooper, just stuff like that, I'm going to cover those things, and I think that should go without saying, okay? Pillars in the sport passing away, and the life and death of a boxer, as far as their health, Adonis Stevenson. I think you guys should get why I would cover that. But let's talk about integrity, period, and where I'm coming from as a media source when it comes to boxing. When I started this whole YouTube thing, okay, I had my biased approach at the beginning. I didn't start off unbiased. A lot of my day one show business partners know that, especially when it came to Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Why? I didn't know enough about Anthony Joshua as far as his personality, what he wanted to do. I've seen him box, but I didn't know him. It wasn't until show business partners from the UK start giving me information, and I started looking further into it, and I started learning about Anthony Joshua. And really, coming from a biased perspective wasn't good on my soul. That's not how I am. Actually, I have a huge amount of respect for the sport and for every boxer and all these gladiators. Me, I wanted to be a boxer myself. So my respect for these guys are through the roof, and I didn't feel good in my soul being biased or purposely being biased. I was purposely being biased when I started. And it wasn't until I had a video that I was talking about Anthony Joshua where I said, I'm sick of my own shit. I was tired of hearing me speak biasly against Anthony Joshua and against certain fighters, and I just decided to be natural, be who I am. I'm actually a positive guy. I'm actually a guy who wants to uplift the sport and not bring it down. So that became my mission, and that became my brand. And the more I did that, I start, getting a broader range of show business partners, people from the Philippines, from China, from Australia, from Bulgaria, from, the UK. I mean, just all over the world, not just America, okay? So, I just thought it was a good look to grow the sport. And as I did that, I started to grow relationships, okay, with great people. I spoke with Steve Willis maybe just an hour or so ago. Just a great, fantastic brother, pillar in the sport himself. And he just was talking about integrity, okay, and just making sure I keep my head straight. And he thought I was doing the right thing. Also, or thought I've been doing the right thing. Chico Lopez, shout out to you, and AC, shout out to you. All the boxers I've spoken to, Lennox Lewis, Johnny Burpelis, Roy Jones Jr., Patrice Varney, Frank Galarza, you know, all the boxers who shout me out or know of me or speak of me, Tyson Fury, Cale Brook, you know, Billy Joe Saunders, you know, all of you guys, all right? Just the relationships I've been growing, the good people around me, I just think if I keep going in the direction of having integrity, like Steve Willis told me this morning, be real. It's not that hard to do. And being real means be honest, be even, be good. If I keep going in that direction, I can help save a sport that I think isn't popular enough. All right. Even when I go to the ESPN app, the application, I have to go to more sports to find some boxing footage. Okay. So even on ESPN's application, boxing isn't even popular. So it's my mission. And it became my mission over a year ago. And like I said, I just started in this. Okay, I haven't been doing this for 2 years yet. But it's been my mission to make sure I uplift the sport, grow the sport, have people see different sides of the sport. I refuse to be, and no diss, but I refuse to be a TMZ type, just jumping on every scandal just for views. That's not me. I can't do it. Okay. What I would like to discuss more often is the particulars when it comes to the craft. What makes one guy better than the other? Okay. What makes this guy different than the other? What is this guy's style? Left hooks, how many different left hooks there are. Beterbiev or Beterbiev, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce the name, so excuse me. But it's one of the two, I think. There's a lot of people that saw him as a slugger, like I said before. I saw him as a boxer. I saw what he was doing, why his percentage rate was so high as far as landing punches. His head movement, how he was setting things up. I would like to talk in more detail about that, and if I can have more interviews where I'm bringing guys on and they're speaking on. I just want to grow the knowledge of the sport and not just the scandal, not just the politics, not just race baiting. Okay. And as far as race, it's just funny that when I made the post about Oscar De La Hoya and me not covering his scandal, I had a few people race baiting and calling me a coon. Okay, that's a very popular word used by the black community against black men or against other blacks. Okay, if they're not contributing to the black community in the way that they perceive it, you're called a coon for it. Okay, so I heard that in that post, but when I did the post about I'm not covering Clarissa Shields and what happened there, that's just not a good look on Clarissa Shields. She's a great fighter, Olympian. I know she really wanted to fight real bad, and the fact that canceled her fight, I know she's not happy. I wasn't going to cover that. And Michigan, there's enough negative things about Michigan for me to bring something like that to the light or help push that. I had a lot of those same people say that I was real, that I had integrity, so it's just, the whole race thing is really just, it's frustrating, and it's getting a bit old, and it's very convenient. Is when am I a racist and when am I a coon? When am I speaking only for the American public, and when am I going against the American people and only speaking for my Filipino friends or fans or for my UK fans? It's just very convenient, and it's very sad. I did get a few people asking me if I had a favorite fighter. Because if I do, there's no way I can be biased. or unbiased, I'm sorry, where I actually do. I have fighters that I favor. I have fighters that I really like. Deontay Wilder being one of them. I always like Deontay Wilder because I like what's here. Technically, he's unsound, but he is just raw emotion, raw champion. What Ortiz was trying to get him out of there, I just saw the difference. I saw why he won that fight. When Ortiz was tired and exhausted, he had his head down. But when Deontay Wilder was tired and when he was exhausted, when he was hurt, he was walking to the corner saying, I ain't going down tonight. I like him. I like Errol Spence. I like Lomachenko. I like Tyson Fury. There's Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. I like them. I like Canelo Alvarez. I like there's a lot of fighters that I'm a fan of. I like Teofimo Lopez. I like there's a lot of fighters, man. Sean Porter. There's a lot of fighters I really like. Okay. But when I do my Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz, but when I do Alexander Usyk, I think he's a fantastic fighter. But when I do my analysis, I throw that out the window, okay? Because I don't like one fighter more than I like the sport. I like the sport the most. And I like watching entertaining fights more than anything, okay? So as long as the fight is entertaining, if one of my favorite fighters, let's say Deontay Wilder, if he were to just get smoked by Ortiz in a very entertaining fight, I'll be cheering, all right? When Andy Ruiz knocked out Anthony Joshua, I was running in circles, not because I was happy that Anthony Joshua lost or it was so exciting and I thought it was great for the sport. I was celebrating. I was literally celebrating that we just saw something fantastic and big in this underdog. Who doesn't like an underdog story? That this underdog Andy Ruiz did what he did and it was fantastic. I'm going to close by saying this. Moving forward, that's just what you're going to get from me. Somebody who loves the sport tremendously and would do whatever it takes to make sure that there's a positive light on the sport. And that these fighters get the celebrating, like the celebrations they deserve. And I mean, just more than recognition. I'm talking about celebrating these fighters. I think we just really do a terrible job at attacking these guys. You know, I see the Charlos, they're under attack a lot. Floyd Mayweather, he's under attack a little bit too much. With Floyd Mayweather, he's somebody who had pros and cons, but his cons are extremely highlighted. Like his cons, all the weight are on his cons, when actually there's a lot of pros with Floyd Mayweather, and I try to do my best at covering both, especially in my live streams. I've taken up for Floyd Mayweather a lot. So moving forward, I hope that I can contribute to changing the tone when it comes to the boxing community, and maybe covering the sport with integrity and being real, like my brother Steve Willis said, and being positive and just helping grow the sport. ShowBizz the adult. And that was the biggest reason, or the first reason why I wanted to do Hard Knock Nights Live, the boxing video game, for PS4 and Xbox. It's coming out soon. I really wanted to do that because the popularity of the sport. I figured playing a video game that reflects the sport of boxing, okay? And it is the best way to advertise the sport, I thought, nowadays. So that's my mission, and that's my brand. I'm out.